Have you ever found yourself stuck wondering whether it's better to be a generalist or a specialist if you want to secure your career in the future? Some people say being a generalist makes you versatile, but not necessarily outstanding at anything. On the other hand, specialists are praised for their deep expertise, but they're also at risk of becoming outdated. So which one is the safest path? That's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. Stick around until the end so you get a clear answer. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with being a generalist. Imagine you're carrying a backpack filled with different tools. You can write, you understand a bit of design, you know how to present ideas, you grasp some marketing concepts, you can read data, and sometimes you're even the bridge between teams that don't usually communicate well. Basically, you're the jack of all trades. You may not be a master in every single one, but you're functional in many areas. In today's work environment, especially in fast-paced industries like startups, creative agencies, or even large companies going through digital transformation, generalists are extremely valuable. Why? Because they can jump into multiple roles. One day, you might be working on a content strategy. The next day, you're helping analyze performance metrics. Next week, you're attending a product development meeting. Flexibility is your superpower. And that's crucial in a world where companies are restructuring all the time, where mass layoffs happen, and where tools and processes constantly change. If you're only really good at one thing, those changes can hit hard. But generalists, they adapt. They hop into different roles, stay relevant, and continue to be involved because they understand the context from multiple perspectives. Plus, generalists usually have solid communication skills. Since they know a bit about different fields, they can connect specialists who otherwise wouldn't understand each other. Imagine you know both design and marketing. You can be the bridge between the designer and the ad team who don't always speak the same language. That's why generalists often climb into management or leadership roles. They see the big picture, they understand how different departments work, and they're able to put together broader strategies. But let's be real, it's not all sunshine. Generalists often face the stigma of being surface level. They know many things, but not in depth. Some industries really need specialists with deep technical mastery, like back-end programmers, actuaries, accountants, or researchers. In those cases, a generalist might struggle. Another challenge? Personal branding. If you can write, design, analyze, edit videos, and manage projects, what exactly do you put on LinkedIn? Without a clear label, recruiters and hiring managers might not know where to place you. Meanwhile, a specialist with a clear title like SEO specialist or iOS developer immediately looks more marketable. But that doesn't mean generalists are weak. In fact, more and more companies are searching for cross-functional people. Smart generalists know how to brand themselves and also when to dive deeper into a skill to create a strong foundation. If you're the kind of person who loves exploring multiple areas, gets bored doing just one thing, and thrives on connecting people, you have massive potential as a generalist. The key is this: you still need something concrete. Don't just be someone who knows a little bit of everything without any core expertise. Pick one or two skills to master at a deeper level. Use that as your foundation, and then build breadth around it to stay flexible and relevant. Now let's flip the coin being a specialist. A specialist means you've chosen one area and gone deep, really deep. You might be a backend engineer, a UI/UX designer, an SEO expert, or someone who studies machine learning inside out. You don't just know theories, you understand the technical side, the tools, the patterns, and can deep dive into complex problems. The biggest benefit of being a specialist is obvious. You're paid for your expertise. You become that rare talent who's hard to replace. Not everyone can code as efficiently as you, design as precisely as you, or research as thoroughly as you. Because there's less supply of people with deep mastery, you're highly valued in the job market. In professional settings, especially in technical projects or heavy industries, specialists are the secret weapon. When a team faces a problem, they don't need someone who knows a bit of everything. They need the person who knows one thing inside out. Imagine you work at an e-commerce company and there's an issue with the product recommendation system. Who do they call? The machine learning engineer. Not the person who dabbles in data, UI, and marketing, but the one who's fully immersed in algorithms and user behavior. Another perk, personal branding, is easier. If you say, I'm a back-end developer or I specialize in SEO for marketplaces, people instantly understand your value. It's clear and direct. But of course, being a specialist has risks too. The scariest one is if your field suddenly becomes irrelevant. The world changes insanely fast. Imagine spending 10 years mastering one tool or platform, only for it to get wiped out by new tech. Think about typewriter experts when computers came in, or print layout designers when everything went digital. If you stay locked into just one skill without adapting, you risk being left behind. Specialists also face struggles when trying to pivot careers. If you've spent 8 years as a manual QA tester and suddenly want to move into UI design, it's tough. The years you invested don't always transfer directly, and you might feel stuck starting over. Another danger is overconfidence, being so deep in your own bubble that you don't notice the industry shifting around you. That's why even specialists need to stay updated, pay attention to trends outside their field, and learn how their work connects to the bigger picture. It's not enough to master the technical side. You need to show how your expertise creates value for the team or company. So which one's better? Honestly, there's no absolute winner. It depends on context. But in today's fast-changing world, the most realistic answer is both. This is where the concept of the T-shaped person comes in. Picture the letter T. The vertical line represents your deep expertise in one area, specialist. The horizontal line represents your broad understanding across multiple fields, generalist. That's the sweet spot. Maybe you're a back-end developer who also understands a bit of UI, business principles, and how to pitch ideas. Or you're a copywriter who also grasps digital ads, audience psychology, and content analytics. People like this are in huge demand today because companies need individuals who can work across teams while still bringing deep value in one specific area. If you're only a generalist, you might fill many roles but struggle to make a big impact without a standout skill. If you're only a specialist, you're sharp in one field but could get stuck if your industry shifts. But as a T-shaped professional, you have both depth and breadth. You're flexible, strategic, and more likely to grow into leadership or even start your own business. The truth is, the modern workplace isn't just about being the smartest in one skill. It's about being adaptive, learning fast, shifting directions, and always delivering value. And the best part? T-shaped skills aren't just something you're born with. If you're a generalist right now, you can choose one area to master deeply. If you're a specialist, you can expand your horizons by learning how your skill connects to other fields. At the end of the day, it's not about picking sides, it's about preparing yourself to thrive no matter what comes. That's how you future-proof your career. So if you ask me which one to be, I'd say, aim to be T-shaped. Not because it sounds cool, but because it's the most practical way to stay sharp, adaptable, and valuable in today's uncertain world. And remember, growth is always a choice. The moment you start, you're already a step ahead. If this video sparks some thoughts for you, don't keep it to yourself, share it with a friend who might need to hear this. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next one, and as always, keep upgrading your brain.